is when the system is not performant or when it's not performing well, the clients always blame the system to have an issue. They're like, okay, your system has issues. But when the system is actually running well, then it's now up to the clients own it and they love it because it's performant. But at times, maybe for example, you could be having a third-party extension, but we don't know the how to identify the key points where the performance has got issues. So this year I attended BC Tech Days 2025 in Antwerp, Belgium, and it was a really insightful. Um, I joined very many deep dive sessions, insightful sessions. I recommend it for every developer of BC. At least attend once or make it an habit to watch any of the previous videos for 2024 or just be up to date with what is going on AL.
Hii ni Tech na Msangi ya jishinde.com.
And okay, at time yes, I use Business Central on, if not at most, but mostly on a day-to-day basis. And there is a menu that, of course, I've not ever clicked on it until I saw it get demonstrated on Tech Days, and that is analyze performance and being able to analyze performance with the scheduled profiler. So why haven't I ever clicked on this? But I've been really keen on performance for whichever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because the application is too big. But if you look at performance profiler here, it's something that is part of the administration. And to demonstrate this, I actually logged in as the administrator to be able to see. Of course, yes, with the super, you're able to do this performance profiler thing. But again, similar to, let me just clear this, similar to how maybe you are able to do recorded permissions. How do you do recorded permissions? If you need to create a new permission set, you record the users based on what they do on a day-to-day basis. You record the permissions and they are able to run the task, and you get the permissions that they need to be able to run the task. So similar to that, you can be able to record an activity. For example, you notice that if the user is creating a sales quote, there is a lag in performance when they are posting the order or when they are converting the sales quote to the sales order, or depending on what is happening in the user's side, you can be able to identify a specific area in the system that has got a performance issue. And this is what this demonstration is all about. Real quick, you just go to the performance profiler. If you have the permissions, of course, the page will show simple page like this. You start it, and here I will just go to the sales order or sales quote, for example, and just so for example, if this is the module that has issues, primarily now you should start it to get the best performance, or the result is you start it at the point where the user feels there is a problem. For example, if it's making an order that's the problem, then you start it at the point of making the order because it gets you the best result. And what you see here, there is a separate window. There is a separate window that it has opened. There is a separate window for this performance view that has been opened that will help me actually get the best so that I can work on the separate side and be able to view the other window once I'm done here. And I'll definitely be able to make an order. And once I make an order, of course, I can open the new order and be able now to post the order, just the straightforward ship and invoice. And then once it's posted, we can open it. Then we can now go back to our open performance profiler. Of course, it opened here and you're able to still proceed with whatever you wanted, but don't close it, because when you close it, then similar to how permissions work, you are not able to get the best out of it. So once I stop it, it's telling me the active apps that are available. There's the base application, subscription billing, e-document core, latest payment prediction, sustainability. So these are the apps that were used in whatever I've done in terms of posting and being able to access the sales order. And you can see now, based on the base application, of course, has its own color, different colors based on there is a color coding scheme which you can change, of course, but ideally here you're having which application spent the most time, and for this is the base application. And when you look, we can now go to the details of the time spent. For example, in the code unit, you can see that the code unit that spent the most time is the sales post out of all these operations, and most of them have not been actually a lot of time. And when you go to the call tree, for example, we can look at which functions and drill down on the on open page what happened. There was 112 milliseconds when you are setting the security filter on the code unit. This is one, but of course the tree view means that if there is, like for example this one, it has got 555 milliseconds, but in the cell line, checking item availability was 115 milliseconds, copy from item, and you are able to drill down. So this is a very good view with data, of course, with information you can know where most of the time is spent, and basically diagnose based on that. And it doesn't stop here. Still with this information, you are able to share the information to the app owner or the developer. You are the administrator, for example. This could be the user. You are the user here using the performance profiler to check which part of the application is having issues. You share it with the developer who could be having maybe the developer or the app extension publisher, and then they can be able to check and give you something. So there is a data that you can download here. It's known as an AL CPU profile. That's the format of the data, and you can analyze it more also from Visual Studio Code by downloading. You can still share. So what you share is this .al CPU profile. At the same time, from here, you're still able to upload the session. You can upload this AL CPU profile, and you can look at the different timestamps for each function that was being called, how long it took to be able to generate, how long it took to be able to run a particular process. And this is really, really cool. The other thing now within the same help and support, which apparently I haven't been using, but really good, you can be able to analyze with a scheduled profiler. For example, here you are able to be able to specify a certain user. For example, this is a web service user who you need to see the web service calls, how long it take, and you want a retention period of 1 week. And of course, this is a profiler. You can be able to open the profiles, refresh, and when the tasks run, you can actually see the profiles, what has been happening, the activity, the duration during a HTTP calls, and this can give you more and better data. You can download it, for example. And at times the performance, web services usually impact performance a lot because they run in the background, no one is seeing them. If a web service is not well maintained or well created in terms of code quality, then it can really affect performance because it runs in the background. No one can stop it at when it's running unless you stop the user, and it's really a performance bottleneck at times. So it's good also to be able to monitor the web service call. So that's it. I'll share more videos on performance, but that's it for this performance profiler, which an administrator can be able to use and share the data to get more detail, or even just study the system and know which app is actually spending more time, and optimize based on data, not just on guesswork, but based on actual information from the system. So that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next video.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss the next one.